Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Steve's Guitars. We are coming to you live from Carbondale, Colorado. It's a beautiful evening out, and we've got an amazing guitarist for us this evening. Before we get started, we need to send some shout-outs. We'd like to thank PM Consulting Limited up in Aspen. These folks are our primary web sponsor. We would not be live webcasting without them, and we're very grateful. I want to send a shout-out to First Bank. A shout out to the Standiford clan for having this amazing space. A shout out to GrassRoots Community Network. They host our streams and have been a backbone for us. Great folks. Lastly, we'd like to send, and never leastly, we want to send a shout out to those of you that are here spending your hard-earned money and your precious time with us, or those of you on the web who are spending your precious time with us on the web. You can do anything you want to do. You can be anywhere you want to be. You've chosen this, and we're really grateful for it. Tonight's artist comes back to us after not being here for about a year. He's from the 80s Aspen music scene. Don't hold it against him. He's far beyond that. Please welcome Michael Lille.
Thank you, thank you. You said he's from the 80s. I was like, well, technically I'm from the 50s, but that's okay. The late 50s. Come on in the house. There she is. We're just getting started. We haven't even played a single song. We're waiting on you. That's Lorna, everybody. We've been waiting on you. I just like to embarrass people when they walk in if I know their names. I'm going to start with a song called "A Childhood Dream." That's I wrote when I was watching the Young Guns movie, trying to imagine what the West was like when it was being settled. One day have lived in the days of the wild old West. It's a chance to redeem a childhood dream, the one that every boy knew the best. Maybe I'd have played little whiskey on my breath and a little out of tune. At closing time I'd settle up just as they dim the lights and spend it on a game of cards or a woman for the night. What I would give to one day have lived in the days of the wild old West. Well, it's a chance to redeem the childhood dream, the one that every boy knew the best. Well, I might have been a family man, and we lived off family, two sons and a daughter and a wife to hold my hand. A piece of sky in North Montana, 40 miles from town. And every night I thank the Lord when I lay my children down. I lay them down. I'd have been an outlaw, a man on the run, a man who spoke his mind with the trigger of a gun. From town to town with a reputation never far behind. Life could turn to death any day or any time. What I would give to one day have lived in the days of the wild old west. It's a chance to redeem a childhood dream. Where a boy was not a man until the test. Thank you, thank you. How's everybody doing? Good, good, nice. I was here a year ago, and I guess there's a couple folks who were here last year. Came through to have a life celebration for Bobby Mason, who many of you, or some of you knew, if not in person, by reputation. Ralph and I were telling some Bobby stories, and there are some Bobby stories. So it's good to be back. I'm going to do a song about my inability to really make a decision. It's one of my superpowers. Really? I just decided to play this song. That's pretty good. It's a start. Yeah. It's called Making Up My Mind, and it involves two little capos on the guitar, just because I don't know which key to play it in. And this is from a record, I call them records because they're recordings, called Never Home to Stay. Drove across country, and I'm very dry, so I'm just going to drink a lot of water. It's a long drive in an RV. It's one thing in a car, you know, you kind of zip in and zip out of places. In the RV, you got to make a lot of plans to stop. And take a bank loan out to fill it up. And it's a waste of time making up my mind. I'm just gonna change it anyway. Back and forth again. My thoughts are like the wind, touching down, but never home to stay. Afraid to go too fast, I hate to go so slow. Sick of sticking round, but not quite set to go. I do the best I can, play the same old hand, watch my indecision run this show. Well, I'm afraid to turn the wrong way, and I have chosen to be still, with one foot on either side of the tracks. There's a river full of choices, but I'm thirsty for the will to make one with my heart and not look back. What if I say yes? then I wanna say no. My old friend maybe is still the safest place to go. Gonna wait and see. I know you know what that means. Standing on the solid I don't know. Well, second guess myself, the only way I'm able to decide. Heaven, well, it ain't far from hell, and I'm at the crossroads waiting on my ride. But I'm afraid to turn the wrong way, and I've chosen to be still, 1 foot on either side of the tracks. There's a river full of choices, but I'm thirsty for the will to make one with my heart and not look back. It's a waste of time making up my mind. I'm just gonna change it anyway. Back and forth again. My thoughts are like the wind, touching down, but never home to stay. Just gonna change it anyway. Thank you. I figured I'm playing at a guitar shop. I want to bring as many guitars as possible. This is a guitar that is made by a guy named Rick Turner, and I sort of inherited this recently from a buddy of mine who passed away. He gave this to me. He was giving his instruments away knowing the end of his life was coming, and it's very special to me. I played in a band with him called the Sherpas. His name was Tom Prasada Rao. He's from India, and we were actually born. We met at a song festival in Kerrville, Texas, and formed a band, wrote a lot of songs together, made a record a couple years ago right before he passed away. And we found out after we had known each other about 8 years that we were born on the exact same day, about 3 hours apart. But he was born in Ethiopia. I was born in Virginia, the exotic land of Virginia.
He left you a sexy guitar.
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, it's pretty wild. So Rick Turner made this, and he made Lindsey Buckingham's guitars, which is sort of what put Rick on the map. I'll play a couple songs that he and I wrote later. This is one that I wrote with the other guy from that band named Tom Kimmel, who's my 73-year-old buddy who just became a daddy. I'm not making that up. I've got pictures. He's pretty stoked. Anyway, this is one that we wrote together after I saw a church sign. I was on a motorcycle trip, and you know those magnetic church signs that they change every week. This one said, "When the devil comes knocking," and so I did a Yui so I could see what the other side said, and then came up with this song. Sorry. got a troubled soul. You got a worried mind. You're down in a hole and you're running out of time. You say you're gonna fight it, but you're gonna take it on the nose. I know you don't like it, but that's the way it goes. You keep on talking like a big boss man, trying to get around it any way you can. You think you drink a little, then you drink a little more. When the devil comes knocking, better let Jesus get the door. The good book says you gotta do right all the way from Sunday morning on to Saturday night. Then it gets to feeling like a heavy load. How could anybody hold it in the road? Keep on talking like a big boss man, trying to get around it any way you can. You thought no one was watching, nobody keeping score. When the devil comes a knocking, you better let Jesus get the door. When the devil has a man in the palm of his hand, he don't even think of letting go. You know you need a prayer, you're looking everywhere for anyone to save your soul. Talking like a big boss man, trying to get around it any way you can. Think you cheat a little, then you cheat a little more. Well, you keep on talking like a big boss man, trying to get around it any way you can. Thought no one was watching and nobody keeping score. When the devil comes knocking, you better let Jesus get the door. When the devil comes knocking, let Jesus get the door. Thank you. Good advice, right? That's what I thought it was when you knocked on my RV door the other day, Rob. Come on in. Hi. Hi, Kathy. Oh, my Aspen friends. Of me? No, I don't mind at all. Whoever asked that, of course not. Of who? I should have asked that, and then he started to take pictures of all the guitars. No, I don't mind at all. Yes, you can take pictures of the guitar. Hope you got insurance on that camera. I want to go into an alternate tuning to play a song. That last song was on a record called Ashland Avenue, the name of the street I grew up in Norfolk, Virginia. Got a few other Virginians in the house. Sent by friends where I was last week. And this song is also on that record. I made the record in Asheville, North Carolina. I lived there for the last couple years. And then we had a big old hurricane, a hurricane in the mountains, right? I was as surprised as everyone was. And Hurricane Helene came through, turned all the little streams into Class 5 rivers. So we kind of took a little break on making the record and eventually got it done. this was a song that's on it. This is my restraining order song. You'll understand in a minute. Sorry about that. It's the altitude. Always the altitude. It was. What is it here? About 5,000-6,000 feet ish. 51. 61. All right. I want to marry Marissa Tomei. Saw her in a movie just the other day. Those lips, those eyes, that sultry way. I want to marry Marissa Tomei. I want to marry that girl across the aisle. Don't know nothing about her, but I think she smiles. And a thing like that could make my life worthwhile. I want to marry that girl across the aisle. But the truth is, I'm afraid to give what's left away. I want to marry my old girlfriend. Can't nobody see her like the way I can. Picture her now, the way we were back when. I want to marry my old girlfriend. Yeah, but the truth is it's too late. 'Cause I let her slip away. I want to marry Marissa Tomei. I saw her in a movie just the other day. In the opening scene, she took my breath away. I want to marry Marissa Tomei. Thank you. I have a buddy in New York named Eugene Ruffalo that sang on my record, and he knows Marissa a little bit, and he said, I could get that song to her, and I said, yeah, that's probably okay. I'm sure she's had many proposals. I think she's never married, if I'm correct. Not that I'm stalking her or anything. My other friend said, you should write a whole album full of actress crushes. I was like, yeah, because that wouldn't be creepy at all, right? I think one is just fine. This is a song about dreams and how we maybe can't really control them. Same tuning, but different starting chord. So this is the first song on that new record, and it's called Only a Dream. Another morning, an empty bed, a picture of you stuck in my head. Another dream I can't quite put my finger on. A cup of coffee to break the spell. You hated the taste, but loved the smell. Funny how the little things just linger on. There was snow on the ground under a broken sky. With your head hanging down, I saw your tearful eye. That's all I recall, the rest is a blur. And you walked away with barely a word. Even in a dream we still can't get it right. So tonight when I sleep, baby, keep far away. Well, I know it's not real, as close as I feel these days. 'Cause then it's tomorrow, I'm stuck with the sorrow of knowing you weren't here to stay. So tonight when I dream, baby, please keep far away. Yeah, tonight when I sleep, please keep far away. Away. Thank you. I'll do a song that I wrote with Tom Prasada Rao. When we found out we had the same birthday, I asked his dad, who has passed on now too, but his dad was in his late 80s, and he had to kind of look up and figure out the time of day Tom was born, and then we did the time change from Ethiopia to Norfolk, Virginia. And I was about 3 hours older, so I was still the middle child of the band. When Tom was going through treatment, that was about the time that the pandemic came around. Did you guys have the pandemic out here? The pandemic? Yeah. It was in all the papers. So he really had to kind of hunker down and was very, nervous about being exposed. He was very susceptible to everything. So we started writing songs on the computer a little bit, like through Zoom or FaceTime or something. And this was one of those songs. And at the time, it was really about, I think it was the first year of COVID, and they had said, well, we've got it figured out and everything's going to kind of come back to normal, and that wasn't true. So that was the first wave. And this song over time has come to mean different things for me. then when he passed, it's a song about finding the good things in the inside of the tough things, and then Helene came through, so yet it just had yet another meaning. So it's called Fire and Ashes. All that may happen, and all that we've seen, and all of the lives that we've lived in between, is that all gone for good? What are the chances? What we've lost in the fire, will we find in the ashes? And I had a dream, it was just me and you. Well, it was finally spring, and the world was brand new. There were birds in the trees and buds on the branches. What we've lost in the fire, can we find in the ashes? And sometimes a blessing begins as a curse. It's often impossible to see it at first, and we do our best when faced with the worst. Sometimes so who would have guessed that we'd be facing this? Well, we are where we are, and this is what it is, and this too shall end. Until it passes, well, you know what they say about playing with matches. What we've lost in the fire, can we find in the ashes? Thank you, thank you. Thanks a lot. Do a quick change and play this funny looking instrument over here. This was another instrument that came to me through the loss of a friend, and it's a guy named Robin Thompson, who was very well known in Virginia and up and down the East Coast. In fact, he wrote the Virginia State Song. When he wrote it, it didn't become the state song right away, something that he lobbied for a long time. It's called the Sweet Virginia Breeze. And he was kind of a mentor to me. And when I was a kid, I remember sneaking into a bar called the King's Head Inn that you may remember on Hampton Boulevard to see him. And
he was kind of like a rock star, and I ended up becoming friends with him years later and did a record called The Famous Unknowns. And this is called a Zong Ruan. And Robin died about 11, 12 years ago, and I was passing through Richmond and stopped in to see his wife Vicky, and she was giving away a few of his instruments to friends, and this is the one that I left with. And Robin traveled to China a couple times to play and came back with two of these. One was a really big, much larger one, tuned down a lot lower. And the other guy on the Famous Unknowns record, Lewis, is his name, Lewis McGee. She said, well, I'd love to give the other one to Lewis. And I said, well, I'll never hear the end of it if he says he has a bigger zong than me. But I know it's all a compensation thing, you know. So this is a 4-string instrument that he brought back. And he used to play songs on it, and he wrote a couple. So I figured I had to write one and put it on that new album. And this is one called I've Already Been. I'm going to touch more of this. Hardest thing is holding it. It's just, you know, kind of like, it's very round.
Well, we made it through the winter nights. Work was slow, the money tight. Beans and rice and Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. All that we can do is the best we can. A country life, a simple plan. Wait it out with me, I'll stay right here. I'd hope someday you might forgive the way I was, the way I lived. Have to go way back to understand. There are things below the waterline that only surface when it's time. Right now feels like time's in high demand. So wait for the changes, they're sure to come around. I know you're getting restless. This world can bring you down. Baby, I've been there before, and I'm sure I'll go again. Nothing they can do to me, 'cause I've already been. I'm heading down a western road, all alone again, talking to myself, I guess, trying to make a friend. Well, it seems like only yesterday the wind was cold, the sky was gray. Now it's perfect weather under sunny skies, and the river's rising up the banks. I'm on my knees giving thanks. It's all unfolding right before our eyes. So wait for the changes, they're sure to come around. I know you're getting restless, and this world will bring you down. But baby, I've been there before, I'm sure we'll go again. Nothing they can do to us, we've already been. There ain't nothing nothing they can do to us. We've already been.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I remember, so Robin used to also play in a band with Bruce Springsteen before Bruce Springsteen became the boss. And it was called Steel Mill, and Robin was a lead singer. That just shows you what a badass singer he was, because Bruce was a guitar player. Things worked out okay for Bruce. So when Robin first brought this back, he said the first song he learned was a very traditional Chinese song, and it went like this. Yeah. You didn't know that was a Chinese song, did you? Smoke on water. Yeah, fire in sky. Deep purple. Stay. Yeah, so that's called a Zong Ruan, and then the guy that I worked on the record with is a fellow from Asheville named Chris Rosser, and he plays all kinds of really strange instruments, including an Indian instrument called a dotar. And so he put dotar on that song, so we have Zong and dotar on that song. I know it sounds like a Marvel comic thing. Everybody doing all right? Yeah? You sure? Erica, you okay? This one? This is a David Weber. Thank you. Yeah, he's from North Vancouver. And it's maple, and look, it's very green. Ooh, I know. Yeah. I worked for Taylor Guitars when I found this guitar, and I went into his shop to sell guitars and worked the other way that day. Walked out and bought one. Dangerous job. This is a song about a guitar, but not this one. One I bought in Nashville a few years back. It's a birth year guitar, and I'd walked into this little vintage guitar store called Carter's. And I was in search of a little mahogany, old Gibson or Martin. As soon as I walked in, there was a dude sitting there strumming on the guitar that I kind of looked like the one I was looking for. So I was really hoping he would put it down and not buy it, and he did. When I picked it up, I didn't look at the price. I looked at the year. Well, I looked at the price, I guess, first. And it was reasonable and affordable. And it was a little beat up, which is kind of what I wanted. And then I looked at the year, and it was 1958, which is my birth year. So I knew I was screwed then, and I had to buy it. So this is a song about that little guitar.
Me and this old brown guitar turned 64 today, but we ain't known each other very long. I guess the both of us have took our share of lumps along the way. Somewhere between the cracks I found this song. And she was one of several hundred that were hanging on a wall in a vintage shop in Nashville, Tennessee. When I took her gently in my hands, oh, the first thing that I saw, she was a 1958, the same as me. I played a little pattern, and I strummed a couple chords in the one they often call the people's key. Well, something felt familiar, like we had met before, as when I knew she's coming home to stay with me. Well, Nashville's always been a Gibson town. There's just something about the way those guitars sound. All that sweetness in the middle, and the stuff that makes you feel a little better when the world is upside down. A little melody can turn you back around. I got my very first guitar when I was 12 years old. I joined a group of kids who loved to play something, well, it wasn't very long for we were singing Heart of Gold and our favorite hippie records of the day. But songs will come and songs will go, you don't know where they'll land. Some could even stand the test of time. But there's nothing like a flat top in a guitar picker's hands. And at least for now I'm calling this one mine. When my fingers start to fail me and I've played my last refrain, this old chunk of wood might still be going strong. So lay that lick down one more time and hope that it remains to find its way to someone else's song. You know Nashville's always been a Gibson town. There's just something about the way those guitars sound. All that sweetness in the middle, the stuff that makes you feel a little better when the world is upside down. A little melody can turn it back around. 'Cause there's something about the way those guitars sound.
Thank you. That's called 58 Gibson. So here's another song that Tom Persada Rao and I wrote. And this one that is we started a long, long time ago, not long after we met, and it just kind of was a little humorous song that we never finished. And then after he passed, it was almost done. I added a couple little finishing lyrics. This could be maybe the Colorado State song. I don't know. We'll see. Little ragtime thing. If I can get in tune here real quick. I played that Fire and Ashes song at Bobby's Memorial with my friend David Starr last year. And there was a lot of old-time musicians from my time in Aspen was pretty short, really, just a couple of years, but a lifetime of memories, and it probably added 15 years to my life, but it was worth it. It's a good time. I don't know how y'all stayed there so long. God. You know, you can leave. Not that you'd want to. I wonder sometimes why I did.
I came home last Friday night. Boss man had me all uptight. First thing through the door, I crack a beer. 1 sip, 2 sip, 3 sip, 4. But the weekend calls for so much more. It's when I face the worst of all my fears. I can't find my weed. Lord, what have I done? Can't find my weed. I was hoping I'd smoke me some. Well, it ain't in the kitchen on the secret shelf.
I hit it so good I can't find it myself. Lord, what have I done? Can't find my weed. So I took all next week off work, left a message for that jerk. It said there's an emergency at home. No telling when I will be back. It don't look good from where I'm at. And I've looked everywhere, so I should know. And this is a sing-along. I can't find my weed. That's your part. I've been looking high and low, can't find my weed. Tell me, where did all the ganja go? Well, I can't ask the missus and I can't ask the kids. Can't nobody tell me where it's at. Lord, what have I done? Can't find my weed. Now the whole damn house is spick and span. I've washed every pot and pan. Probably be the last place where I look. Yeah, I know why they call it dope, and I was just about to give up hope when I remembered where I last partook. I just found my weed. Hallelujah, happy day, just found my weed. Everybody here parade. It was out in the backyard next to the shed, inside the doghouse underneath the bed. Honey, I'll be back by 10. Time to walk the dog again. That's why they call a man's best friend. Just found my weed. Thank you, thank you. Nice job, you guys. Just found his weed. I always wanted to put like little angelic voices on it. Just found his weed. And you should. Hallelujah. So there's an old buddy of mine from Aspen that a few of you know, Big Joe Draker. Joe and I went to Carnival in Brazil a few years ago, and I wrote this little musical piece, and didn't have any lyrics for it. I had a title, and when we got back, I ran into an old friend of mine, Jimmy LaFave, who was a great songwriter from Oklahoma, who lived in Austin. And it's the only song we ever wrote together, and he had a lyric idea. And it's called Don't Have to Love You Anymore. So there. I wanted to add the so there, but he taught me out of it wisely. You were a melody unchained. You left my heart rearranged. This was the best thing you could do. Now I'm certain that we're through. I didn't really want to know, but it helps me let you go. I could see it in your eyes
I shouldn't be surprised the dice will roll. But you chose another, I don't have to love you anymore. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. It's just my time for moving on. Though you and I will never be, there's still a little left of me. If you were here with me tonight, there'd be a different song I'd write. With every color of the wheel, everything I'd ever feel for you inside. But you chose another, and I don't have to love you anymore. Though I know that you're not mine, I'll see you around from time to time. And letting go is not so bad of a love you never had. You're still a melody unchained. You know my heart is still rearranged. Sometimes the best things that we do could turn another's world so blue. And now I think I know what it means to let you go. The spotlight hits my eyes, tell myself another lie on with this show. But you chose another, and I don't have to love you. You chose another, you'll never be my lover. You chose another, I don't have to love you anymore. Thank you. How about a hand for Ralph back there doing it all, man? He's running lights, running the internet. He's running the whole damn internet tonight. Not only that, he secured me street parking for a 46-foot RV. What happens if I just kind of don't move it? Guess we'll find out tomorrow if we want, right? Well, it's like 26 and a trailer all together. There's a motorcycle trailer following me. Yeah, no, tomorrow I'm going to Cedar Edge. How many know where Cedar Edge is? Yeah, David Starr. That's right. David's an old friend from Aspen, and he's got his third annual Grand Mesa Singer-Songwriter Festival. Rodney Crowell is the headliner this year, and I'm honored to be one of the 21 writers at this thing. It's a bunch of in the rounds with 3 writers at a time in 7 different venues. And I had a great time last year, and happy to be going back. Oh, thanks. Yes. David owes me money, so that's why. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. This is a song that I wrote after falling asleep on a train and missing my stop in London. And I was dating a girl that lived in Cambridge. And
so I had to kind of go back for one more night. And after a sweet goodbye, I came knocking back on the door, and I completely missed my stop and was lost and ended up leaving the next day. So it's called Before You Know. Writing this song, I wanted to see how many internal rhymes I could come up with. So every line has an internal rhyme. Might have been a little overboard.
Pitch black skies and sad goodbyes, a rocking of a train, rolling down to London town on the Monday morning rain. Blow and kiss you, know I'll miss you, but darling, I must go. And dry your tears and rest your fears, I'll be back before you know. It takes so long when I am gone, and time just takes its time. Daylight stalls and nighttime crawls, and I misplace my mind. But somehow even when I'm leaving, I never let it show that I adore you more and more. So I'll be back before you know. You may think I'm restless, or you may wonder if I'm wild, or could it be I just got oats to sow? Well, I will kill your curiosity the best way I know how. When I fall back in your arms, before you know. Deep inside my heart I hide a quiet, tender sound, and only you can see clear through the wall I've built around it. And darling, trust me, 'cause our love must be simmering nice and slow. If you could hold on tight for one more night, I'll be back before you know. Well, you may think I'm restless, and you may wonder if I'm wild. Could it be I just got oats to sow? I'm gonna kill your curiosity the best way I know how. When I fall back in your before you know. Yeah, before you know.
Thank you, thank you. Pardon me? Not too much of the internal rhyming. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, some of them are a little sneaky, but. How we doing? How we doing on time? We're doing good. I know it's a school night. I'm gonna do one of my favorite songs that the Sherpas wrote together. So we did a record when we first got together in the early 90s, and then never really became a full-time touring group, but we just wrote a lot of songs together and played a handful of, you know, like kind of, we do little 7-8 day runs in different areas of the country. And then, like I said, Tom got sick, but even before he was diagnosed, we had written 7 new songs. A friend of ours donated her house for us to move in for the week so we could write together. She's an awesome patron named Kelly who lives down in Hampton, Virginia. And so Tom Kimmel came from Memphis and Tom Persataro came down from Maryland. And we spent the week and we wrote 7 new songs, and with the intention of working on a record, and very soon after Tom was diagnosed. So we put everything on hold, and after a few years, he said he felt like he wanted to record the record. So we went to his studio to do it. And this was one of those 7 tunes. It's called A Ways to Go. Used to be black and white, across the tracks, across the ocean, high and low, wrong and right. Oh, oh. Different schools, different look, different prayers in different churches, different lessons from the book. Oh, close the blinds, lock the door. Mama told me, mind your business, don't ask questions anymore. Oh, oh. We've come a long, long way. We've come a long, long way. We've come a long, long way. We've got a ways to go. Used to be a woman's place, was in the home, nowhere else. Just show the world your pretty face. Oh, raise the kids, don't complain. Wash the dishes after dinner, while the boys all watch the game. Oh, and why sing a sour note? Honey, you just simmer down, and don't you bother with the votes. Oh, we've come a long, long way. We've come a long, long way. We've come a long, long way. We got a ways to go. Pull the blinds, lock the door. Mama told me, mind your business, don't ask questions anymore. And why sing a sour note?
Honey, you just simmer down and don't you bother with the vote. Oh, we've come a long, long way. We've come a long, long way. We've come a long, long way. We got a ways to go. We got a ways to go. Thanks. I didn't bring up any kind of a list or a set list or anything, so mind is a dangerous thing. Especially when you got the TMB, too many birthdays. Trying to remember words but it's fun, you know. Some people do crossword puzzles. I just trying to learn new songs. Got a buddy that's a big crossword guy. Anybody out there do crosswords? Yeah, good. Good on you. I stay with him a lot when I go down to Norfolk, and he's up early, like he's already gone through 3 crossword puzzles. And a lot of coffee. Let's see. I've got one in mind. How about... Oh, maybe not that one. Okay, this one. What's that? Say what? Oh. It's a wig. Thank you. I put on my dress shirt today. I only ironed it from here up. I'm just kidding. I don't own an iron. This is one thing. Didn't make it into the old RV. Nope. Got 13 guitars, but no irons. Priorities. I found my weed, though. That was good. Sure you did. Not before the show. Not anymore. Back in the 70s, man, I used to play in Virginia Beach all the time, and everybody, including the entire audience, would just get completely baked before you played. And it didn't matter. You could remember words. And now, if I did that now, I'd be like, how fucking long is this song, man? Good Lord, have I been playing this like 30 minutes? Why are all these people staring at me? Here's one I wrote with Tom Kimmel. There's a few friends here that know our old buddy Sean Groover, and we talked about Bobby Mason. And the longer we live, the more of our dear friends we're going to lose. So I'll send this up to those Aspen boys tonight. This one's called Ships. Well, all is quiet on the water, and the wind across the sand, it whispers through our quarters that the morning's close at hand. Our love's in perfect order as we fold our sails in sleep. But the moon is falling starboard, We have promises to keep. We rest here while we can, but we hear the ocean calling in our dreams. We know by the morning the wind will fill our sails to test the seams. And a calm is on the water. A part of us would linger by the shore, for ships are safe in harbor. But that's not what ships are for. So we head for open water, set a course for distant land. And out here there are no borders, and the truth is in the chance. We fill our sails with purpose, find direction in the stars. Pray the dark and deep won't hurt us, and we sail with open arms. We rest here while we can, but we hear the ocean calling in our dreams. We know by the morning the wind will fill our sails to test the seams. And a calm is on the water, and part of us would linger by the shore, for ships are safe in harbor. But that's not what ships are for. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not what ships are for.
Thank you, thank you. We'll do a couple more, you think, Ralph? How we doing? All right. All right. Well, thank you so much, especially you road trippers and my fellow Virginia folks who were sent out by some mutual friends. I played in Virginia last week and ran into some folks who said, oh, we have friends in Carbondale. And so thank you for being here, all of you. This is a song by a songwriter named Kevin Welch, who I met when I lived in Nashville. I lived there for about 7 years in the late 1900s. And lived there, 7 years, 92 to 99. Then moved back to Colorado. Then I moved to Boulder. Lived there for a couple years, and then moved to Lakewood, Colorado. And I moved to Austin, and then I moved to San Diego, and I got itchy feet, I guess. The San Diego move was for a job for the guitar company, Taylor Guitars. So I had a good excuse. But Kevin lived in Nashville, and I think he lives in Australia now. And I just always loved this song. It has a line in it that I really wish I would have written. It's called Something About You.
I don't want nobody, I'm better off alone. I'm sworn independent, I got a heart that's made of stone, but you're breaking on through. Yeah, there's something about you. I've been tapping my toes to the way you talk, and I've been singing along when I watch the way you walk. Baby, I got to do something about you. I got this life of mine, nice and quiet, I like it fine. I work real hard, ain't got time for you. But I've whiskeyed up my coffee cup, sitting here trying to call you up. In the mirror, I don't know what to do. Yeah, there's something about you. Something about you like distant thunder. Well, I can't say I ain't been warned. Baby, there's no shelter to crawl under. Is ever gonna save me from this storm? Yeah, there's something about you I can't shake. Something about you, girl, been keeping me awake this whole night through. Something about you. I got this life of mine, nice and quiet, and I like it fine. I work real hard, don't have time for you. But I've whiskeyed up my coffee cup, sitting here trying not to call you. It's getting to where I don't know what to do, 'cause there's something about you, something about you.
Thank you, thank you. I always like that little guitar part because it reminds me of this. That little Fleetwood Mac. That's such a happy little song to play. I teach a little guitar, and that's probably the #1 song people want to learn how to play. Well, I'm going to do a couple more songs, and we'll call it a night, right? Right, Ralph? No? Well, we can call it whatever you want it. What's that? Up to me. No, leave it up to me. Actually, you know what? I'll do another cover song, and then I'll do one of mine. This is a song that I played it. What's that? This is a David Crosby song, and I have Crosby tattooed right here because that was my dog's name. And you knew Crosby. You're like the only person that probably knew Crosby. Yeah, I have friends way back in Virginia that didn't even know Crosby. He was born in Aspen, and I named him after David Crosby. I remember when I called my mom to tell her I got a dog, and his name's Crosby. She said, "Oh, after Bing?" I was like, "No, Mom, after David, but no, you can make him after Bing if you like." So I was living in Lakewood in Denver, and a buddy of mine worked for a radio station and was interviewing Crosby that day, and he invited me down to the station, and I got to meet. So I wore a long sleeve shirt because I figured if he saw this, it might be kind of weird, you know, like, dude, why is my name on your arm? But I do also have this song tattooed around here because it's, I think it's just one of my favorite songs. But not the lyric, just the melody. And I don't read music, so I had to ask my niece, who plays viola and is she has her master's in music education, to write it out for me. So for all I know, it says Yankee Doodle. I have no idea, but I'm hoping it's the chorus to this song. And it's kind of an obscure Crosby tune. It's on a record he did with Graham Nash. The song's called Page 43. And I just love the outlook of the tune.
Look around again. It's the same old circle you see. It's gotta be page 43. You should grab a hold of it, or else you'll find rainbows all around. Can you find yourself some silver and gold? It'll make you whole. The river can be hot or cold. But you should
That's not going to go well. I can tell you what happens in the third verse. It'll come back around. Sorry about that. All right. In the third verse, David says, pass it around one more time. Wine. This life. And I'll eat a recall. Yeah, I think you're right. There's something in here. Yeah, I'm heading to the desert. Is that what this is, the desert?
The high, very, very high desert.
I'm going to Utah after Cedar Ed, so
Good thing you're practicing here.
I'm practicing now, that's right. You hear that? Okay. Excuse me, good Lord. This is a little finger style instrumental called Ode to Duke. Thank you, thank you. Woo, thank you. Thank you. So I'm a North Carolina Tar Heels fan, so that's not called Ode to Duke. That's a college on the other side of the planet. So that's not called Ode to Duke because of the college. But it was actually written for my grandmother who walked like John Wayne. I know, that's kind of weird, isn't it? She really did. She had that Duke kind of, LOL, Pilgrim. And a friend of mine pointed that out to me and said, you know, your grandma walks like John Wayne. And it scarred me for life. Bless her heart. All right, I'm going to do one more and see if I can sing. We'll find out. I've got a Ricola on hold. This is about a tattoo that I saw on the arm of a guy in Nashville. Kind of a weird song to end with, but someone asked me to play it, so. And it said, he was shirtless, and it said, I loved Rosie. And I could tell that the D in the word loved was kind of snuck in between. Yeah. Well, when I met Rosie, she met me. The first sight, love full of mystery. I put 10 little letters on the muscle of my left arm. Tattoo Lou said these words are forever. I said, well, that's all right. We were born to be together. She's a blessing I'm expressing to the world from this day on. Well, when Lou was finished, he said, what do you think? I said, my man, you're an artist with the needle and ink. Cupid's little arrow through a pair of inseparable hearts. 3 words of devotion to the one I adore. I found my Cherie Amour. Me and that woman, we were off to a perfect start. I love Rosie, it's plain to see. I love Rosie eternally. Well, the first couple months were like a honeymoon. Me and that woman barely left the room. Then she started getting bored, staying out late at night. So I started drinking, hanging with the boys. Rosa didn't cotton to much of that noise. The honeymoon was over before we barely even learned how to fight. Well, I picked up a bottle, I drove down to Lou's, drank a little whiskey, and I gave him the news. Then I was paralyzed. I sat there and watched her leave. He said, I know it half killed to seeing her walk out the door, but losing her name is gonna hurt a lot more. Finish your whiskey and roll up your jacket sleeve. I love Rosie, it's still plain to see. I love Rosie painfully. Well, Lou said, I've been doing tattooing nearly 25 years. I've seen an ocean of heartache and a river of tears. There's one thing I know, son, ain't no match made in heaven. When you came in here with your heart on
the fire. Told me 10 little letters were your one desire. I was wise to her lies. I left enough space for 11. But I love roses, still plain to see. I loved Rosie with a capital D. You know Rosie ain't never coming back again. She found more than one way to get under my skin. All that left of Rosie is a permanent memory. Well, I love Rosie, still plain to see. I love Rosie indelibly.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you very much. I didn't swallow that Rico. Look, that's good. Thanks for being here, and thanks again to Ralph. Thanks to Steve's Guitars. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for those of you that drove up the road or down the road. I'm not sure what you call it.
It doesn't matter.
They drove. I'm going to go blow my nose. I've been sniffling the whole time. And then I've got CDs here. If anyone's interested in compact disc, I have the Sherpa's CDs and all my solo stuff. And stick around for a second because I want to come say hi.